He knows how to ride alone, and
here we go.
Just right. Here it comes. Here it comes from Tadej Pogačar. Here comes the attack we've been expecting all along. 1,600 meters to the top. He quickly opens up a couple of bike lengths of an advantage. What's the response going to be from behind? Leibovitz moves out of the slipstream of Jonas Vingegaard, but immediately thinks twice about it. And look at the size of the crowds here, and there's not too much room to move up and around them if they can. Jonas Vingegaard starts to respond. Paul Sexas in his wheel. Juan Ayuso with the head dipped. Florian Leibovitz also suffering. Still in there at the moment, Richard Carapaz and Tobias Halland Johannesson. So I wonder, well, they're starting to become distanced at the moment. It's a couple of bike lengths, well, a few bike lengths of an advantage for Tadej Pogačar, but now he settles into the fight, and it's not quite as big a gap immediately opened up as we've seen in the past.
It's not crushing. Del Toro has lost a little bit, but it's not crushing for everybody at the moment. I just think he was kind of waiting for his time. They wanted to make sure that Del Toro didn't lose kind of big time, but yeah, grimacing now. This is harder than it looks, and now we see just behind Jonas Vingegaard, well, he's starting to distance the rest.
Yeah, just riding away. Just riding away, Jonas, but I think he's trying to hold his effort and maybe just peg back Pogačar. He knows he can't answer those big attacks that saw that Pogačar made. Maybe Vingegaard just crawl his way back to the Slovenian's wheel.
Oh, it's such a tough day, and even Isaac Del Toro is distanced by Richard Carapaz. How remarkable is that? Carapaz in the break all day, but it's been mentally draining, physically draining. This entire Tour de France has taken so much out of them. The heat may have subsided, but the intensity of this race, it's red-hot action out there. A little anxious look over his shoulder from Tadej Pogačar. He wants to get a signal that he has absolutely secured the victory here. He's anything but, because Jonas Vingegaard is within a handful of seconds. Is it as much as 10 seconds? Well, that's not quite a winning advantage just yet.
Yeah, it's not crushing. You got to remember, over the top of this climb, it's just under 6 kilometres, and I think numbers will help. You know, we saw it the other day. If they can stay together, they've got a chance. Del Toro is still in here with a fight. They've got a chance of coming back over the top of this climb here, but Pogačar, we know what he's capable of. As soon as he gets that between his teeth, you know, he wants to win another stage. He's got to repay what his teammates have done all day, and they've done a tremendous job.
Tremendous job done by all the riders in this one. Tadej Pogačar's solo on the climb, approaching the top though. He's going to claim the 10 points, back in the lead of that competition for what that's worth, but his focus entirely on a 4th stage victory of the 2026 Tour de France. He's not quite eliminated Jonas Vingegaard, and in turn, what about Paul Sexas in 3rd? And we saw spectators at the side of the road putting their hand on Paul Sexas's back. You can understand the eagerness from the French crowd, but you've got to keep your hands off the riders and let them do their own thing, and at the moment that's a very effective thing. It's Paul Sexas who races closer, ever closer to Jonas Vingegaard, and you can see what that means to the crowd here on this climb.
I think this is a good thing. If Sexas can stay with Vingegaard over the top, trying to get him across to Pogačar. I know at the end of the day, between the three of them, he's got the fastest finish, but yeah, it's not over, I don't think, for Vingegaard and Sexas for the moment anyway. It's only 16 seconds. If they can get together and help each other, they've got a chance. But you have to say, Pogačar, it's not crushing at the moment. You can see the effort on his face. This is a hard attack.
Well, he's won 4 Tours de France in his career, 24 stage victories to this point. Is it going to be a 25th today? It would be a milestone achievement if he were to win in the yellow jersey for an 11th occasion and eclipse that particular total held by Bernardino, albeit the all-time record held by Eddie Merckx. He's some way adrift of that. Still work to be done to secure that, but it's a weary-looking Jonas Vingegaard close to the top of this mountain. They'll be coming back to Col de Hague. What an amazingly, an extraordinary theatre of sport this has turned out to be. Wonderfully popular with the crowd, and it's played host to a great piece of athletic excellence. Sexas has just arrived back onto the tail of Jonas Vingegaard.
Del Toro's coming. Del Toro's just behind this duel as well. So, you know, he's getting closer. You can just see him. He's just about to... He's making an effort now. So Vingegaard comes over the top. and Sexas, but look at Del Toro.
That's absolutely massive, and he's definitely coming back inside 5.5, inside 6 kilometers from the finish line. The question is, can Jonas Vingegaard and Paul Sexas, John, can they combine to do anything about this, 25-second gap to the front?
You'd really hope so, but everyone is on their last legs now, aren't they? That was a full-on effort. Everyone gave the maximum, so it's always a difficult one. But if Vingegaard and Sexas can just come together, maybe a little bit of rest, and then try and work together to get back to Tadej Pogacar.
A Red Bull duo arrive with Ayuso to the top in pursuit of these. Del Toro's not quite with them just yet, as Paul Sexas and Jonas Vingegaard combine. 5 kilometers to go on stage 14 of Tour de France, and Sexas and Jonas Vingegaard almost ahead on their wheels at the moment. They look around and they see that Isaac Del Toro is about to join. At that point, presumably, Isaac Del Toro will have to ease up and sit in the wheels.
Oh, he definitely will sit in the wheels. He's going to make it across here. Like, Vingegaard's going to go all the way here. Sexas, well, he's riding himself into the white jersey competition. Because that's on the shoulders of Ayuso. 13 seconds of a difference between them. Luckily, Ayuso's got the two Red Bull riders to help as well.
One of whom is the best time trialist in the world. And both of those Red Bull riders are minded to ride as hard as they possibly can and combine to close this gap. And when Remco Evenepoel came over at the top of that climb, he rejoined the other two and went straight to the front. We'll keep an eye on whether he can do anything about what is 25-second deficit to Paul Sexas, and potentially a change in white jersey here. No change in yellow jersey in prospect. The advantage is going upwards. He's cruising to glory here unless something remarkable happens. What an extraordinary man he is. And Tadej Pogacar, his team set to work all day, hounded down the early break. And, well, the issue has never really appeared much in doubt for fully 152 kilometres at this point.
Yeah, I left it a little bit late inside the last 2 kilometres of that climb, and I don't think it was ever in doubt. He is absolutely flying along here. I gave Vingegaard and Sexas a little bit of a chance, but you have to say that Del Toro, he has really dug deep to be in the situation he has. Same with Evenepoel. We did notice that Lipovic was starting to struggle a little bit, but, you know, hats off to Evenepoel for what a ride he's doing. He did it the other day, came back and finished third. He looks good, but he's just not at the same level as the likes of kind of Pogacar and Vingegaard, but he's not far away.
No, he's one of those riders who really knows his limit and knows his body so well. He seems to just allow that group to go away, knowing that he'll come back to it. And he's done it again here today. And, yeah, exactly as Brian said, hats off to Remco Evenepoel. Could have been losing a lot of time today.
Paul Sexas losing time to the man up front, but gaining time potentially. Well, they're probably losing a couple of seconds here and there to Remco Evenepoel. He's the one drilling it on the front at the moment. Florian Lipovic, I'm not sure he can make much of a contribution. Juan Ayuso will if he can, but every time we go back to this group, it looks as if it's Remco doing all the riding. We've seen this before, and he doesn't offer a whole lot of shelter to the riders behind.
No, he's doing a great job here. He's holding it. You know, he wants to keep a hold of his third place. You know, with Sexas in front, but like you say, Lipovic can help out. I don't think Ayuso can give much more, but yeah, it was the writing was on the wall. As soon as we heard that UAE Team Emirates wanted to ride for Pogacar for a stage win today, like I said, I think about an hour ago in the commentary, it's kind of irrelevant of what happened in the stage today. It was really, really interesting. The big group got away. You had Pidcock in it, and everybody tried to put satellite riders. That we're not really surprised at the outcome of this stage.
He's heading to glory, 1,400 metres to the line, and he's heading towards a 7th career Tour de France stage success as the reigning world champion, and that equals the record held to this point by Peter Sagan. And most of his stage wins coming in rather different circumstances. He's now about to be joined in that record-setting achievement by Tadej Pogacar, who's under the kite and within 1,000 metres of glory. It's all gone to to script today, but that doesn't mean it's been easy. His UAE Team Emirates XRG squad are scattered all over the mountain on their way to the finish line. They'll be listening on the radio and they'll be delighted because he's going to deliver another one. A 25th career stage success in Tour de France. It's remarkable, a remarkable achievement, closing down on that record held by Mark Cavendish. And on this performance, well, he could have it done by next year. Could he get it done by next year? It could well happen. 450 metres to the line. He'll continue to pour on the coal to extend his advantage. He's reinforcing his command of Tour de France 2026. He's increasing his lead on general classification, and he is the very best in the Tour de France. As we race down to Le Markstein-Fellering, it is another glorious success for Tadej Pogacar. He takes the glory in stage 14 of the Tour. An anxious look over his shoulder. He's encouraged to ride it all the way in, but he wants to start celebrating. He delights in riding his bike, and he's done it again, and he's done it in style. Racing home solo to glory in yellow. It's Tadej Pogacar that takes the victory. And now we watch with interest because there are some bonus seconds to be distributed here, and Jonas Vingegaard wants to limit his losses as best he can. Isaac Del Toro has a job to do for the UAE Team Emirates XRG squad. Sexas knows every second's going to count in the battle for the white jersey as well. He's going to get third on the day. It's going to be a 1-2 finish unless something remarkable happens for the UAE Team Emirates XRG squad. Sexas will stay in it all the way to the line, so he's asking the question of Isaac Del Toro. Sexas slumps back in the saddle. Well, he goes all the way, but Del Toro takes second. It's a 1-2 finish for the UAE squad. Sexas gets some bonus seconds, looks behind, and what a job has been done by Juan Ayuso, and more particularly by the World Time Trial champion Remco Evenepoel, who takes them home within a handful of seconds. I'm not sure if anyone was on the stopwatch there, but they could well be going to the fractions of a second in the redistribution of that white jersey. What a job done by Richard Carapaz, who stayed with those riders from the favourites group when he was caught. A long day out in the saddle, and Carapaz with a fine top 10 finish. On any other day, against any other rider, any other team, Richard Carapaz would have taken the victory. But it goes to the yellow jersey, already recovered, already looking for teammates.
Yeah, another 1-2 for UAE Team Emirates, and he was kind of yo-yoing a little bit, Del Toro, in that final climb, and I think that's what Pogacar was looking at and just kind of waiting. But yeah, I wouldn't say it was a crushing win, but another very good win from Tadej Pogacar there. But this man here, well, he's popped up with another third place in a very difficult stage, and definitely Paul Sexas looks as if he's the real deal. Of course, we don't know how he's going to perform in the final week, but so far so good.
He's still only 19 years of age, and while there's no stage victory for France just yet, and yet another one for Slovenia, still the excitement levels have gone
there was
almost out of control for Paul Sexas.
12 seconds between Sexas and Ayuso at the finish with a 4-second bonus, so Sexas will be in the lead in the white jersey.
Well, that'll give them a cheer. Sexas has podium duties. Look at the level of exaltation, the joy, the relief, and he reinforces his. I mean, he just loves winning. I mean, there is genuine joy about that one. It's not a manufactured or contrived victory celebration there. There's confirmation of the finishing order. It's Tadej Pogacar that leads in his teammate Isaac Del Toro. 38 seconds between them. Paul Sexas, fine third place for the Frenchman. Jonas Vingegaard, Remco Evenepoel, Ayuso, Lipovitz, Carapaz from the early break, well inside the top 10. But absolutely nothing to touch the man in yellow. He heads to stage 15 with a reinforced and enhanced advantage on general classification. 25th career stage success. He's still the dominant force in the Tour de France. Tadej Pogacar takes the win on stage 14. Classification standings to get full confirmation as the riders come in, and they'll be coming in for a while after this one. Van Wilder leading Vossar. Egan Bernal, shake of the head. He dreamed of stage glory from the breakaway. Ultimately, decent finish for the Colombian rider. But it's Tadej Pogačar who's accepting the plaudits of the crowd. Huge crowd on the Col d'Huag. And the analysis will go on long into the night, but probably doesn't need to take that long. It was textbook stuff. Niels Pollitt right from the start. Huge shift of work from the German. Made so many riders available for the UAE squad. Tim Wellens, Felix Grossschartner all did their bit. Isaac Del Toro did his bit by cruising in to take the bonus seconds. Great rear guard fighting action from the Mexican rider. 1-2 finish. And it's an enhanced advantage on general classification. The gap now up to 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Remco Evenepoel is now 34 seconds behind Jonas Vingegaard. And Paul Sexas up to 4th and into that white jersey ahead of Ayuso, Lipovic, Del Toro, Scalmoza. Pitcock down to 9th. Lenny Martinez hanging on in the top 10. Let's catch up with Adam Yates.
We'll be again super hard. And yeah, hopefully the guys have super legs, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you.
Well, what a performance it was from 19-year-old Paul Sexas as well, because he finished 38 seconds behind Tadej Pogačar, just behind Isaac Del Toro, but his performance good enough to go into the white jersey. So Paul Sexas with a 3-second advantage. He got a couple of bonus seconds at the finish line as well today. Del Toro is menacingly sitting there in 3rd, and Lenny Martinez in 4th place. But it is going to be a fascinating battle between those three over the course of the remaining stages. Jonas Vingegaard probably looking the best that he has done since the opening stage of the Tour. Tadej Pogačar, a 25th Tour stage win. He is now 10 behind Mark Cavendish, and he is closing in on Tour de France win number 5.